Lesson number 6, moving on to fitness tip number 6. When you are accountable to someone else, you are much more likely to show up. That is just the reality. If you decide to do this fitness journey with a friend and make a commitment to your best friend that you are going to meet her at the gym on certain days at certain times, then you are going to show up. Or if you say that every weekday after work you're going to do a workout with your partner, then you're much more likely to do it. And not only that, but then you also have that community feel and that commonality around a shared goal, and that makes the experience just so much more enjoyable. There's a lot of power in doing it with someone else. Honestly, I know one of the reasons why I've been able to be so much more consistent this year is because I now have someone cheering me on and also holding me accountable, right? Like with my trainer Jill, if I miss a workout, she's going to be like, hello, are you all right? What's going on? And there have been so many times where I'm like, I don't feel like doing it, but then I'm like, well, I'm going to because it's on my schedule and Jill's going to see this, and I don't want to explain to her that I was just lazy and wanted to scroll on my phone on the couch, so instead I start the workout, and she's always cheering me on every single week. And you know what? It makes me feel good. But if you don't want to take this exact approach, if you don't want someone to help hold you accountable, or if you don't have any friends that you can do this with, here's another tip for this. Envision your future self and let her hold you accountable. But become accountable to someone because you are 1,000,000 times more likely to follow through. Now, lesson number 7, walking. Walking is very underrated. Even if you do nothing else but just walk a lot, you will be doing so much good for your body, and it can really help to get you snatched. I'm usually in the best shape and the leanest when I consistently do my workouts and walk a good amount. If you want to start your fitness journey but you're overwhelmed and it stresses you out, just start walking every day. After a month you will notice the difference. You will look at yourself in the mirror, and you will see a slight difference, and you will feel different. You will feel good. One of the reasons why walking is so good for you is because it's low stress. It's easy on your body, it's easy on your nervous system, it's not going to pump out a bunch of cortisol and mess up your hormones and make you puffy and all that, especially if you have a particularly hectic and stressful life, or that's just like the season of life you're in right now. You will honestly probably get so much more benefit out of just taking a nice long walk in nature for an hour than going to an hour-long, intense boot camp style workout class. Even though walking is slow and it doesn't feel like you're doing that much, it's great cardio, it does help you build some muscle, it's great for your digestion, and it's great for your mental health. Do not think it's a waste of time just because you're not drenched in sweat. Walking is supreme. Lesson number 8, an important lesson is that recovery is a sacred part of the fitness process. Recovery is where all the magic happens. This is how you give your body the ability to restore and build back stronger. And if you're always just doing more and more and never giving yourself rest days, your body is going to suffer. Like, no days off, that's not admirable, that's not hardworking, that's not disciplined. That's a little bit foolish, so you have to reframe the way you look at recovery. It's not you just doing absolutely nothing. It's you working towards your fitness goals, just in a different way. Remember the first point I talked about where having a daily habit is easier than an every so often habit? Well, on those days where you intentionally rest or you intentionally do more mellow types of movements, where you're focused on recovery, that is you working towards your fitness goal. Your focus is just on the recovery part of that process. It's just reframed so you're able to keep that momentum going instead of seeing it as different. So instead of seeing those more rest days as like you not working towards your goal or you taking those quote days off, it's a part of the fitness process, not separate from the fitness process. So romanticize recovery. Treat it as this beautiful ritual and a beautiful part of the fitness journey. Light some candles while you stretch. Use a foam roller while you listen to some soothing music or your favorite podcast, or, after an intense workout, take an Epsom bath. Recovery is an important part of the cycle that's crucial to your long-term success. So, make recovery sacred. Make recovery a beautiful part of your everyday fitness habit. Lesson number 9. Thing is that I always struggled with feeling good when working out. Consistently, until I changed this one thing, until I started syncing my workouts to my cycle. So, before I learned about cycle syncing, working out for a few weeks actually started making me feel very ill. Like, Working out would start making me feel sick if I started doing it consistently. Not extreme, I didn't do it extreme. But even when I didn't, but I still did it consistently, I would get like body aches and headaches. And I would feel like I was about to come down with a flu. I'd have really low energy, and whenever I'd work out consistently, I'd start to physically feel worse. And that's obviously not how you're supposed to feel. That is until I started cycle syncing. So I started matching the phase that I was in my cycle to the type of workouts that I was doing. I have a very old video that walks you through how to work out for your cycle, so I'm only going to, just cover the gist of it. But essentially, there are certain phases where we naturally have more energy, where we are naturally more stress resilient. Because remember, exercise is a stress on the body. And then there are other phases where that same intense cardio workout is not going to make you feel very good. It'll just spike your cortisol and make you feel like crap again. If you want a full breakdown, you can watch that video. It'll be linked down below. Also, check out the book In the Flow by Alyssa Vitti. It's a wonderful book, it's a must-read. But in the luteal and menstrual phases, that is when we need to be more gentle with ourselves and do a bit more slower, low-impact workouts. And in the follicular and ovulatory phases, that's when we can push it a bit more, where we can up the intensity, up the cardio. When I follow this method, I consistently feel good from working out. I no longer get that burnt out, tired, exhausted, achy, crappy feeling, and my trainer actually helps me with this, so if you actually look on my app, you'll see more details. See that for all of my workouts it also says the phase I'm in my cycle, like menstrual, follicular, etc. And those workouts are designed to support that particular phase that I'm in, so the menstrual workouts she plans for me are usually a bit slower, usually more gentle. They're usually more like yoga or Pilates focused. My follicular workouts are where she starts upping the intensity and where she adds in weights and cardio and so on, and she knows, because I told her this right before we started working together, that those few days right before my period, that's usually when I'm the lowest energy and I feel the worst when it comes to exercising and moving my body. So those workouts that she plans for me are always the most gentle, so my fitness schedule on my Train Well app is completely customized to my cycle, just based off of my communication with Jill, and it's made it really easy and convenient to cycle sync my workouts. I don't even really have to think about it. So, if you've ever really struggled to be consistent with exercise because it starts to make you feel worn down, like it used to make me feel, I highly recommend trying to start cycle syncing your workouts. Or if exercise has been throwing off your body and your hormones in some way, or maybe if you experience really bad PMS, or if you just want to be more connected to your body overall, cycle syncing your workouts is an incredible hack, and it's one of the most important changes I made. Lesson number 10. Fitness lesson number 10 is that you really have to see food as your fuel and not something to fear. That's going to ruin all your progress. Your body needs energy to perform, to recover, to get stronger. And good quality food, especially protein, plays a very important role in that process. So you need to make sure that you're eating enough to support the recovery process and actually benefit from all the hard work that you're doing. You need to make sure that you're eating enough protein to help with that muscle repair. Start thinking about food differently. Food is there to restore you, to re-energize you, and to help fuel you to have a really good workout. It's meant to accompany you on your fitness goals, not counteract them. It's not calories that you now have to burn off, it's nourishment. Now, my hot take is that I'm not a fan of intermittent fasting for women, especially over the long term. Now, obviously I'm not a medical professional, so take this with a grain of salt, you do you. But most of those studies about how good intermittent fasting is for you are done on men, not women, and our bodies are different. Our bodies are a lot more sensitive to stress, and they can potentially disrupt our hormones, our fertility, our blood sugar, and none of that is good. Again, you do you. You know what's best for your body, but just keep in mind that most of those studies are done on men. Another thing to consider. Lesson 11. Thing is, you know that saying like, a good body is built in the kitchen? Well, that is quite accurate, and what I mean by that is, you can do all the workouts in the world, be super consistent with your exercise, and work really hard. But if you're coming home and just eating junk food every single night, you're probably not going to see the results that you want to see. You can't out-train a bad diet, it just doesn't work that way. Stick to high-quality foods, simple ingredients, less processed foods, and more home cooking. Aim for high-quality protein and for carbs. Stick to something simple like sweet potatoes or jasmine rice. Honestly, learning how to cook is one of the better things that you can do for your body and your health goals. And I just want to mention, if you are interested in using TrainWell, your trainer can actually help you build healthier eating habits as well, if that's something that you feel like you need help with. Next, number 12, pain and growth are different things. Feeling a little bit challenged in your workouts? Good, that's growth. A little challenge is healthy. A little sore the next day? That's fine. But feeling broken down and miserable? That's pain. Know the difference and don't glorify suffering in the name of fitness. Challenge yourself, but don't break yourself. And lastly, number 13. Just like any other habit, little actions consistently create big results. Your workouts don't need to be an hour long every day to see results. If you can't fit in 40 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes is still great. If you can't even fit in 20 minutes, 7 minutes is still better than nothing. You might think that you aren't doing much with these smaller workout sessions, or if you can't fit in a full 30 minutes, then you might as well just skip it. But built up over time, you are, because it's all compounding. It's like if you put $1 in the bank every day, it seems tiny and irrelevant, but over time it starts to build up to something substantial. And especially once you add on compound interest, it really starts building up. Fitness is the long game. There are no shortcuts. Keep showing up in the small moments. And going back to my first point, like James Clear said, never miss twice. That is it. I would love to hear any of your fitness tips below in the comments, but if you are serious about your fitness this year, I highly recommend you check out TrainWell. They used to be known as Copilot, by the way, in case you've heard of them before with that name, but TrainWell is an incredibly easy way to get that customization, that flexibility, that accountability in your fitness journey in a really easy, convenient way, but for a fraction of the price of normal personal training. I've personally really enjoyed it. I love my trainer, Gel. You can also switch trainers if you feel like the one you get matched with doesn't work for you, and I really think that you'll love it. So again, you can use this QR code here or the link down below to take a quiz to find your perfect trainer and get 14 days of free training, so don't miss out on that opportunity. Thank you so much for watching and staying until the very end. I will see you in the next one. Bye.